What? That's... oh my god. I don't know.
I hope not.
Oh. Yeah. That's less people. So yeah, please. Please do it. Wait, I'm setting up this very important for Elon Musk. He specifically asked me to watch it. Iron Man. Elon Musk.
Our thinking was perfect, I guess.
Yes. Well, as everything else, yes. Oh, yes. Okay, I'll do it. Yes. Just some. Yep. All right. Welcome to War Ukraine Texts. That's a new performance with two actors and a boat. It is written by Irina Theofanova, the playwright who is currently in the room somewhere with us. Irina, can you? Yes, the playwright. Yeah, and the play is called 10 Kilometers, and it's currently being staged in several, at least it was in Sumy theater already in Ukrainian, but I also think it's the first time it's being read in English. Quite an exciting situation, and it's a quite tough story. I think it's not a comedy, although, well, I think. Right. It is directed by Jochen Gelle, a good friend of ours from Germany, a theater director. He's been with us, I guess, with the first set of Ukraine war texts, and this is the fifth right now, where we put together Ukrainian plays in English translation. And it is performed by two wonderful actors who are currently lying in the boat, Dennis Timoshenko and Sasha Pidop-Rikora. Enjoy the show. Thank you.
Spring 2022. I'm 12 years old. Skinny, exhausted. My jacket is tattered and my winter cap is askew. I'm pulling a sled along the sea. A weighty object rests on the sled, wrapped in a motley blanket. Its identity is indiscernible so far. The flat kid in the wet sand, but I persist, doggedly dragging it onward. My dad used to be into calendars. You know, those big ones that people hang up on the wall. He would cross the days out and turn the pages when the month was up. My mom said it was something he picked up from his childhood. His grandma had a thing for calendars and had covered her whole kitchen in them. You know, the kitchen was my dad's happy place, and he wanted to recreate all the joy in our house. But we always had only one calendar. My mom called it a compromise. This year, our calendar has pictures of white tigers. My dad crossed off all of January and most of February, right up until the 24th. On the 24th, nobody crossed anything out anymore. Although they didn't immediately start bombing our city, and at first it even seemed like nothing too terrible was going to happen. My dad said that the Russians wouldn't hurt regular folks like us. We were about as civilian as you could get. My dad was a plumber, my mom was a hairdresser, and I was just a regular school kid. Our German Shepherd dog, Ida, was probably the only member of our family that had anything in common with the military from any war due to her breed origin. That was a joke made by my dad. And it was one of the last he made. On March 1st, the Grad rocket, launched by Russians, flew into our apartment, straight into our kitchen. The only thing made it out alive was the wall with the tiger calendar. My dad, grandma, sure knew something about luck.
The second kilometer. I stopped to catch my breath and plopped down on the damn sand. There's space on the sled for me. No seats, but no. I did not dare to get close to the preserved cargo. My mom was the one who came up with the idea to get Ida. She used to have a German Shepherd once, but he didn't live long. Just for 3 years. The dog got a tick bite, couldn't move, suffered for a few months and passed away. My mom was a school girl in 5th grade, but she knew how awesome it was to have her best friend. Her folks didn't want any more pets. My mom didn't want them either, but after she met my dad and had me, her desire to have a dog was rekindled. They even bought an apartment in Jumping Ship, as my mother put it from the creepy rental places. Why not make the dream a reality? But my dad opposed the idea. He had never had a cat and dog before. He had a belief that animals belong in houses with yards. Why make them suffer in a small one-room apartment? But my mom can add a pretty present when she wants something. She's talking about getting a dog for a year and kept bugging my dad about it. It felt odd. It's probably me who should be asking for things like this. Well, my parents should object, but it was the opposite for us. My mom was all to getting a dog, my dad was against it, and I was stuck in the middle. But when on the morning of the previous New Year's Day, my dad asked my mom and me to check what was under the Christmas tree, I had feeling that something amazing was about to happen. My dad had a spark in his eyes. To tell you the truth, I had a hunch about what I'm gonna find under the Christmas tree before I even stepped foot into the kitchen, where it was set up. A dog, a little shepherd with brown and black fur. She doggy, just like my mom wanted. Ida. I came up with that name. My mom allowed me to choose her name. She said it's important to know that you have named someone. Back then, I didn't get that she meant, but I started to realize it. As Ida growing up and become more and more central to me, this New Year's Day marked a whole year in Ida in our family. I guessed it at her huge and solemn dog, nothing like tiny happy puppy found under the Christmas tree. And realized that Ida was the most special gift I have ever received. My dad wouldn't say it all out, but I couldn't tell he felt the same way. And when the garage rocket came crossing our kitchen, my mom and I were in the room, where my dad and Ida were in the kitchen. We crawled in the kitchen, and there we saw my dad shredding Ida with his own body.
The third kilometer. I strolled along the coastline, with waves crashing into my boots and weighting them down even more. Each step takes an immense effort, but I grit my teeth, tighten my grip on the rope, and keep pulling the sled forward. My mom, Ida, and I lived in the basement of our apartment block, along with our neighbors and some people I had never seen before. It felt like we were all in together, yet also alone in our struggles, everyone standing up for themselves. The Russians bombarded Mariupol day and night, and it seemed like they never stopped, not even for a minute. One day, while I was waiting in the basement, my mom and Ida went out to find some food, and the dog got a contusion. There was a bombing raid near them. That day, Ida became deaf, and my mom had her arm broken. Ida was doing fine, as she had had a strong fear of explosion before that, but my mom was unwell. Her hand started rotting off, and we had nothing and no one to treat her. The three of us had to split the last piece of bread we had left. My mom didn't eat her slice. She hid it and gave it to Ida and me the next day. One day, when my mom was asleep, I still sneaked out of the basement, with Ida staying behind to keep watch. I hadn't been out for 2 weeks until the day. And it was weird. The central district was different from what I had dreamed about while sleeping in the basement. The place was destroyed. Smoke filled the air and dead bodies were scattered everywhere. Some of them I knew. Some of them scared me too much to even look at. That day I didn't find much. Some bread covered in mold, some water from a muddy puddle, a ripped blanket, and then, like a miracle, a bag of lactose-free milk in a looted shop. I got back in the evening feeling relieved since the bag of milk was perfect for my lactose-intolerant mom. And mom, I saw my mom lying in the same position as in the morning, with Ida sitting beside her and tears silently rolling down her face. The fourth kilometer. People told me that Ida smelled like a dog. And many folks down in the basement turned their noses up at her. Also, I wouldn't say that other smells were any better. To me, Ida smelled like home. I could hug her and fall asleep. Most often, I had dreams about our apartment and our family. I recalled how we celebrated the last New Year. My parents gave me a mobile phone, and I drew a picture for them. I started my art classes in December, and I was doing pretty good. Even my teacher complimented me. I still had an unfinished picture, Ida's portrait, at our place. I wanted to bring it to the school competition. Sometimes I dreamed about my classmates, my friends, and Oksanka. She was my desk mate that year, and that made me incredibly happy. She was an outstanding student. You know, the life was amazing. Really amazing. It just said we can never go back to it. I wonder if Oksanka and my other friends are still alive.
The fifth kilometer. One day I woke up and heard some grumbling in my document. I had too many mouths. I wasn't mad. I got it. We've been under the siege for a while now, and everyone's starving and frustrated. But then, all played the same. We shouldn't be angry with each other. But with those damn gold like Russians, it was them who forced us into the basement like a bunch of rats. Those rascals took everything we had and called it liberation. You can take that liberation and stick out in your... You know what? The end are gonna hurt us. What's the point? Someone replied. That they will cure. The old lady stared into a conclusion. And everyone got off me and Ida. And the next morning the old lady didn't wake up. Her heart stopped beating. Ida sat beside me and partook that I suddenly realized that I wouldn't admit I did deep now too. I wasn't so sick of hearing all the noises. The explosion, people growing at sudden, and everyone's voices devoid of hope. It was all too much. One day I brought a lot of water filled up a bucket from the head boilers in the neighboring, more or less intact apartment block. I didn't come up with that myself. I overheard some guys from a different basement talking about it. The folks in our basement started giving me compliments and started complaining about too many months. I always split my share of water with Ida. First I would take a sip and then she would finish the rest. After finishing her drink, Ida lay down in the corner, like she was conversing energy. She didn't even bark anymore. I felt the same way, minimizing my output both physically and mentally. If we went out hunting, that's what we call it, the search for water and food, with some of our other neighbors. We all moved like a zombie, talking slow steps and slow over with hundred bags. It looked like we were in one of the apocalypse movies my dad had been into. Black streets, black people. Darwin on our hunting race, I stumbled and opened this sweaty local store. It was new and shiny, with varnish coat over it. Everything in the store had been snatched away long ago, but I could take the sled. I sat on it and went sliding down the hill in the last snow.
I pulled the sled along the seashore. For the first time in a while, I woke up not to explosions but to yelling. My fellow basement dwellers were having a fight. At first, I couldn't quite catch their words, but as I tuned in, I sprang to my feet and witnessed the thing. The dude, who had been the quietest before, had grabbed my Ida by the collar and was holding a knife against her throat. His hunger drove him insane, and he was set on killing my Ida and eating her. The others didn't let him do it, but they couldn't get hold of the knife either. The guy was waving it around and someone could get hurt. Ida was silent and staring straight at me as if saying goodbye. I rushed to the man and begged him to kill and eat me instead of her. I was bawling my eyes out, down on my knees, prepared for anything. The guy just chuckled the knife away and tossed Ida to the side and left the basement. He never came back. The 7th kilometer. I'm standing on the breakwater, gazing thoughtfully out at the sea. The sled rests on the shore. Barefoot and wet, me and my mom were waving through the Fountain Theatre Garden Square, while my dad is standing over the side, chuckling to himself. We are both drenched and spraying water like Zeus fountains, but we don't mind it at all. It's too hot and being wet feels even great. How the fountain looks those days, huh? And the drama theater. Everyone in the basement couldn't stop talking about it. There were so many people hiding and I could have been there too. I heard that they wrote kids on every corner of the theater pavement. But the Russians didn't give a damn. Dropped a bomb, made it go around, and dropped another one. I remember my dad telling me that they wouldn't bomb regular folks. Now I know that the Russians are actually targeting the non-military. The streets were filled with dead people, dead bodies, and there was no more space in our yard to bury them. And the Russians didn't stop. In the basement someone kept saying that they weren't gonna stop until they killed every last one of them. This is genocide! Back in the fall, when we were studying genocide in school, I remember thinking, thank goodness that will never happen again. Well, it will happen again.
The 8 kilometers. In one of my theories, someone mentioned that could flee from Mariupol to Berdiansk by car. Yeah, someone could flee by car, but me, I could walk 10 kilometers along the seashore, pass through the Komsomolsky beach and hit the freeway that leads to the militarized streamer. I didn't really have a plan, just a sense direction. Keep moving straight, and straight ahead. And some ideas in case I run into Russians. I wasn't worried anymore about Ida attacking and barking. She had become so skinny and worn out that even if she tried, she wouldn't have energy to rush anymore. The bucket while bombs exploded around, and the red rocket sliced through the sky just ahead of us. But we had a goal, and we didn't quit. I had a strong feeling that if we didn't live at that moment, we might never get another chance. I knew I would run into some Russians roadblock up ahead, and they would make me go through some filtering procedure. What is filtering anyway? How can someone filter people? But I figured it out later. For now, my only goal is to get there. The beach, the freeway, Berdiansk. My ruined city no longer surprises me, neither is the corpses. It's freaky how one can get used to this kind of things, and all I wanted at that moment was keep moving forward, not to look back. And Ida, on the contrary, was feeling behind me, walking slower and slower, and the sled slams into a rock and flips over on its side. The load wrapped rocket in the monthly blanket falls out on the sled, and it became clear that this load was a life-size body of a German Shepherd.
ninth
kilometer.
kilometer.
And covered with black apartment walls and buildings all around it.
In the yard, there are multiple crosses marking graves, some bearing nameplates and some bare.
Resigned to graves with self-made plates. And one inscription, Mom and Dad.
I dig a third grave with a rusty shovel. The sled with the body of the German shepherd is parked nearby.
I finished digging and moved the slab close in the grave. I carefully placed the body of the dog into the grave, gazed down at it for a while, covered it with the motley blanket, and started filling the grave with soil.
The Komsomolsky ditch was just a short walk away. And then there was a freeway.
We were so close.
But I didn't even understand how that happened.
Suddenly there was an explosion, and I was thrown back like someone hit me from behind.
I think I blacked out or something. It's hard to say. It was just the mix of feeling weird, wild, freezing, scared, and everything at once.
I don't know. I never felt anything like this before.
And then everything cleared off. I got up and I saw you.
My Ida.
You stepped on a landmine and blew yourself up. You were covered in the blood, still breathing and looking at me.
I looked at her. It was 5 or 6 steps, but I felt like it took forever.
I was so scared that I wouldn't make it in time and that Ida would die before I reached her.
But I managed to hug you. You were still warm and still mine.
I was kissing your bloody snout and repeating that everything was going to be okay.
I whispered in your ear that you were my best dog, my first and only. My mom and even my dad loved you.
And then it was it.
Your heart stopped beating.
My Ida's heart. Just like the hearts of all the beings I loved.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for all of you.
I threw the final lamp of soda into the grave. The 10th kilometer. The boy strolls along the seashore, dragging the sled that's now empty behind him. He is walking at a slow pace, becoming even slower with each step, as if his last bit of strength is leaving him. When you are holding on to something, you hold on. You hold on with all your might. Even if you have just a little bit of hope, just a little bit of hope. As long as you have someone to live for, you keep telling yourself, I can do this. I can do everything. And when they take away the last being you loved, what's left to hold on to? Nothing but a dream. Hoping that maybe the God or whoever is there is watching all this horror will give you another chance. Just one last chance, please! Get up. Get up. Get up. Get up. Get up. Get up! Get up! Get up! Get the fucking up! The boy hears a squeaky bark coming from behind him and turns around. smile spreads across his face as he squats down, reaching his arms out towards something we can see on the stage. The boy's reactions show that it must be a small pot, wet and skinny.
Where you come from, little cat? Come here. Come here.
Find yourself afraid to see.
Come here. 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 What are you supposed to do with you? Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here.
Kilometers, performed by Sasha Pido Prihora and Dennis Tимошенко. Directed by Jochen Gelle from Germany and written by Irina Fefanova. Irina Fefanova, the playwright! It's the first time you meet, guys, I guess. Whoa. Oh, дякую вам, да. The discussion of all the things after the fourth bit, and we did the three right now. We still have the fourth one to go, written by a military playwright, Valery Puzik, a current soldier and a playwright. And we're gonna take 15-minute break and coming back for Ghosts in Branches by Valery Puzik. Thank you very much, everybody. Диви, у нас лодка пошла в дело, вход. Нічого, нічого. Це щось там, да. Lie down.